right, enough of that. So today I want to talk about some ideas for intros. As a guitarist, it tends to be a weakness I've seen, and I think that comes from the fact that most of the time as a guitarist, or at least a lot of times, we play with piano players or we play with other instrumentalists that have that burden of setting up an intro. I know that's the case for myself because my brother's a piano player, and a lot of the times the tendency is to rely on the piano player to do that. So I want to talk about a few different situations we can set up intros so we can feel a little bit more confident if we are asked to set one up, whether we're playing with a singer in a duo, or really any situation. We have some ideas of what we could do. First real simple one is just going up a half step with our major chord. So this works. You see this on Girl from Ipanema, this sort of setup of going from major 7 up a half step. So F major 7 up to G flat major 7. It happens in the song Girl from Ipanema, so that's why it tends to get used as an intro, but you could use it for any song that's starting on a major 7 chord. Another thing you can do there is major 7, and you can go up to a major 7 sharp 11 type sound for the chord up a half step. And on a soloing side of it, kind of what I was demonstrating a little bit earlier, is you could think about the F major as F major, and when you go to G flat major, think about it like F minor pentatonic, and that gives you that sharp 11 sound because you have the C over G flat, and all the other notes for F minor pentatonic are nice notes. You have, major 7th, we get the E flat, so like this is the 6th to the 13th over G flat, sharp 11, 3rd, 9th. So it's a really nice sound, and really kind of an easy way to implement it, so you're not doing like F major and then all your ideas up a half step for G flat major. So that's worth checking out as a bit of a side note. Next up, I want to talk about this pedal point vamp. It's a really cool one. We can think about it in like a swing situation. Really what we do here, it sounds like this. I'm thinking of the 5 chord of whatever my starting chord is. So let's say this is Take the A Train, and we're starting on C. I'm going to start on G as my pedal, and then I'm playing C triad. This rhythm of it, although there's different rhythms, I'm doing chord, bass, bass, and then we go up a half step to D flat, 2 hits the bass, back to C, and then B major, and you repeat that really as long as you need to. And then when you want to signal the end, a very simple way of doing that is 1, 2, where that 2 chord is an altered chord, and then you hold that second beat. So like 1, 2, and that just lets everyone know, especially but with the hold, that you're signaling the start of the song. It's obviously important if you're doing an intro to make a clear signal that you're starting the form of the tune. So that's one I really like. You would just move it around as a 5 of whatever your first chord is. So the first chord doesn't have to be the 1 chord, but we move that pedal intro around based on that. So that's a cool one. Another one I like that uses the secret jazz chord voicing we talk about with sus flat 9. We'll do this in 3, so you have an intro idea if there's a tune in 3. And this is for Someday My Prince Will Come. So Someday My Prince Will Come starts on B flat. Again, we go to the 5 chord. We're going to do a sus 13. So I'm playing it separated. So bass, and then skipping the A string, playing the sus 13 voicing, and then moving my pinky from that 2nd string to the 4th string, which creates the sus flat 9 sound. So we have so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I also like that melody of whether it's or again here, whenever you want to signal your ending, you can go to the altered, in this case F7 sharp 5, sound, and then it'll be clear. So usually give it a full 3 beats, a full bar if you're in 3, since it's not that many beats anyways to signal. So that's a sus intro, sus 13 to sus flat 9. That's really cool and works in 3. It also works in 4/4 as well, but just to show you how you can adapt it to 3/4. Next, let's look at another way of using sus voicings. Gives you a bit more of a modern sound than just using a 3-6-2-5-1 or the last 8 as an intro. And that's really common and works in a ton of situations. Nothing wrong with that. But just to give you some different options, a couple things we can do with sus is we can take our 4 chord as sus and then go up to the 5 chord. So let's say we're doing Green Dolphin Street in E flat. So we're starting on that E flat. Basically doing the 4 chord and the 5 chord as sus chords, sus 7, right? Another thing you can do here is use those as sus 13. I'm always playing with the melody note on the top there. And then to round this out, keeping to that on Green Dolphin Street in E flat, we could also go a whole step above our 5 chord down to our 5 chord. So that would be like C sus to B flat sus. And you could combine it with the previous one. So hopefully that gives you some ideas for intros. Stick around real quick. We had quite an exciting week here at Jazz Meme, so I want to let you guys in on a little sneak peek. We had the pleasure of hosting Dan Wilson down here in Miami. Amazing guitarist Dan Wilson. And we were hosting him because for 2 days we were filming a massive guitar masterclass, and this will be coming out on Jazz Meme soon. We just started editing it. I started editing it, and it's incredible. I'll be going through it myself. He's basically taking you from the very basics of hearing pitches on your guitar to creating with scales and the standard patterns we're used to, how to go through all of those fundamentals, how to turn those scales into actual lines, and then how to turn those lines and apply them to a bunch of tunes like blues, rhythm changes, standards, a lot of really cool stuff. It's all in this course. The way I like to think about it is he takes you from learning letters to words to sentences and then paragraphs, and then you'll be writing your own full essays. So we're really psyched about it. I'll put a waiting list in the description below. There isn't a PDF for this lesson, but there is a waiting list for that Dan Wilson course, so you guys can be the first to check it out, because we will have bonuses when that drops that are only going to be available at that launch time, including like a bunch of courses of Dan just shredding through the blues, which is going to be great. So anyways, I want to just give you guys a heads up on that for sticking around to the end of the video, and I'll see you next week. Again, as always, thanks for all the support, you guys, and make sure you quick hit that like button, comment if you have anything to comment, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.